Hello, my name is Kathy Jacobson, and I'm a life coach, and I'm the founder of moldsofemotion.com. Welcome to our channel. Today, I want to share a basic model with you that has proven to be really effective with a lot of people. I call it the diamond of emotional power, and it consists of 5 levels: victim, starting at the bottom and working up, victim, interpreter, observer, partner, and creator. So I want to spend a few minutes talking about each one. So picture a diamond, and at the bottom, at this lowest corner of the diamond is victim mode, and it's narrow here because when we're in victim mode, we have very little access to our personal power. In the cause and effect nature of emotions and how emotions create, what emotions of this mode do is that they create suffering. And if we look at the kinds of emotions that create suffering, we run into hatred, rage, anxiety, jealousy, disappointment. Those are the kinds of things that catch us up and create havoc in our lives. So I would like to introduce you to my friend, Diane Dandeneau, who is also certified as a life coach. And she's done a lot of work. But I would like to ask her how it feels to you when you're in victim mode.
Well, Kathy, thank you very much. And I so appreciate your clarity on the emotional plane, because I really hadn't thought about it for most of my life. And as you ask me now about victim mode, it's actually in some ways, it became a very comfortable place for me because it's not my fault that I'm feeling bad. And so truly the victim, I am the victim of my life. I'm a victim of my bosses. I'm the victim of my conditions. And it became a very, it became a comfortable place, but then also became a very uncomfortable place where I had no actually hope or felt like I had any power to create anything that I wanted to do. But it, it's just fascinating because it became comfortable until it became uncomfortable.
I think that's a pattern that happens with a lot of people. And it's kind of sad to think of being comfortable with misery.
Hmm.
It really is. So then if we move up to the next level, was there something else you wanted to say?
Nope, we could talk about it for hours.
Well, we have.
Or yes.
So when we move up to interpreter mode, this is the mode of struggle. And any emotion or any situation that produces struggle puts us in this mode. And the emotions of this in this mode tend to be dichotomous. We tend to see things as black and white. So when you're weighing things, and all you can see is up and down, or in and out, or left or right, or bad or good, you're going to be in this mode. And in this mode, our choices are broader, maybe 100 times broader than in victim mode, but we see them in terms of bad and worse. We look at it like the lesser of two evils, and we judge, we compare, we argue, we measure, and we find ourselves tangled up in struggle when we're in interpreter mode. So when you're kind of moving out of victim mode, what changes inside of you?
Well, I think victim mode, just to go back, is kind of like the defeated place, and interpreter is more of a battle place. It's like
Mm,
I'm battling with the world. It's like, okay, well, I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna win, and I'm gonna work really hard, and really, you can't ever just win always. I mean, it's that you win and then you lose, and then you win and then you lose, and it's like always in that kind of conflict. And so it is the place of struggle, is like you said. And so instead of being, like I said, for me, it's like I can be defeated, or all right, I can go out and battle the world. And it still isn't a empowered place.
But it's more powerful than victim. And and sometimes we can take heart from that.
Yeah.
Oh, at least I'm not letting my emotions victimize me.
Mhm.
I can go forward. So then we move up into the widest part of the diamond, and this is observer mode. And the reason this is the widest place is this is where our possibilities are total. They're complete. We can see more options and we can choose in this mode. This is where we can choose whether we want to go forward or backward. It's where we can decide what we want to accomplish. We can have goals and they can be manageable goals. And so it's not that we have a huge amount of power, but we are in our power and we can choose and we can see all that is good as well as all that is difficult. And this is the place of calm. So these emotions are the ones that create calm and give us options. So curiosity, relaxation, neutrality, acceptance. And when I say acceptance, I don't mean resignation. Resignation is interpreter mode because that's where you're almost giving up. So, what does observer mode feel like to you?
I think that observer mode is described like becoming more detached from the drama that's happening, where I'm like just describing it, observing what's happening without maybe taking it personally or giving it meaning in the same way. And so I can see what's happening, and I can see that I actually have choice to respond instead of react.
I think those are key words, the difference between reaction and responding. Now, I know that your journey has not been easy. Would you like to share any part of that?
Well, I think that as you and I met, we found that we had come through a similar journey of our own spiritual connection that came out of pain and difficulty. And so maybe part of the story for me was being at a point in my life when I supposedly had everything, sold a company, had bought a house, had everything that my parents were all proud of me because, oh, she finally made it. And I was suicidally depressed. It was like I had accomplished what I was supposed to accomplish that had nothing to do with who I truly was. And that's how I really was kind of gave up and said, "Okay, God, tell me why I'm here or I'm leaving." And I began to surrender to a deeper knowing and a deeper connection that really led me to seeing that I had power, that I had choice, that I could disconnect from the drama and the trauma, even if I created it. I didn't have to participate in the same way.
It's it's interesting to take that level of responsibility for yourself. And it's not easy to say, yes, this is my part. This is how I contributed. And therefore, I have the power to do something about it. If I created it, I can get out of it.
Yeah.
That's a turnaround place for people. So then we move up into the higher levels of power and we come to partner mode. And this is the mode of cooperation. And the gateway into partner mode is willingness. And when we are willing, we are also welcomed. And so this is the mode of gratitude, of achievement, of friendliness, of partnering. And it's partnering with everything. Anytime we're in partnership, we're in this mode. Whether we're partnering with another person or we're partnering with our car or our tools or our talents or the universe. And what happens when we move into partner mode?
Yeah. It is like you hear, like, you're really going with the flow.
Mhm.
That's what it is for me. It's like the life becomes flowing, life becomes magical. It's like of course, the parking spot shows up, but really more like the opportunities start showing up in work and relationships, and the people that I might have been trying to get to do what I want them to do become collaborators in my life. And it's just a different approach to everything. I love how you bring that vision of partnership, because that reminds me to, instead of, "Oh, what can I get from that person?" or "I need this from them," to, I mean, how can I help them and how can they help me? Because we all wanna help each other at the end of the day.
Mhm.
So it's like the awareness that that's actually how things work better in life.
In fact, partnership creates ease.
Yeah.
The partnering emotions create ease. And that brings us up to the top of the diamond again. And this is creator mode. And the reason we come to a narrow place in creator mode is because it's like we're at the point of an arrow. And it is because we've chosen, we've moved forward, and we become one. We become one with ourselves and with other people and with who we really are within us. And we become one with the universe, which is incredibly grand, maybe grandiose, but it's where our power is unlimited and we don't know how far we can go. But we know we're in even more than flow, we're in absolute harmony with the universe. And I know you've had some amazing experiences in creative mode.
I think that's, as an artist, as an entrepreneur, the outer sort of expressions of this shows me that that is where I have come to express, and it's, um, it's in ways it's fleeting because it's not easy to hold that space, but it is for me, it's connected to the truth of who I am, and I have to remember that, oh yeah, that's what I strive for every day. And, whether I'm finding myself in different, I call them levels of consciousness, as you call them modes in some ways, because that higher, but it's like those different, moving through all of it. We do that all the time. I could find myself in victim mode, even that, like, oh, I'm so enlightened. No, I'm human. We're all do that.
And I think it's important to realize that we do that.
Yeah.
We can be in a given day, we can be in all five modes.
Yeah.
And it can change minute by minute. We can be humming along in partner mode and creator mode. Somebody walks in on us that is in that's angry or frustrated, and it takes an effort to be able to stay in our own power when somebody else with a lower level of power or a frustrated level of power is pushing against us. And this is life, as you say.
Yeah.
That's just life. And I have known people that are in a perpetual state of victim mode, and that's a tragedy. It's a human tragedy. But almost everybody skips around, moves from one to another, gets frustrated over something, and gets exhilarated by something else.
Mhm.
What we need to remember is that it's our emotions that create the impact that we have in the world and on ourselves. And this is what we want to help people to do. So start noticing what your emotions create and how it impacts your life. And when you can see it, feel free to leave a comment on our channel and share your story with us because we want to know how successful you are. So remember, the five modes are victim, interpreter, observer, partner, and creator. And so if you like what you've seen, please like us. Please visit our website from the link below. And if you choose to share your email address with us, I have an ebook for you that's called Choosing Happiness. And I will send one right off to you if you leave your email address on our website. So thank you, Diane.
You're welcome, Kathy.
I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
And to all of you, look at the world with wonder and at yourself with warmth. Visit us again.